What up, what up? It's your girl, Erica Michelle, and you're listening to my World on Fire radio podcast. I'm an oil-filled wife, mom, Christian, and full-time motivator. I've helped hundreds of women design a life they love, and now I'm here to help you too. I'm an online freelance speaker motivating women across the nation to better health, better marriage, and overall better life. I'm going to show you how to design a life you are excited to wake up to and thrive in every single day. So get ready for legit online motivation with applicable steps you can apply starting right now. Welcome to your new go-to resource for women serious about taking control of their health, wealth, and life. What is up? What is up? I'm Erica Michelle Best, uniting you to be the best you. And I'm super pumped up to talk about this because I was just listening to something and it really just kind of resonated with me. And I was like, oh my God, I need to go talk about this because I know a lot of people are going through this or have dealt with this or experiencing this or whatever. And I just want to share a little bit of encouragement for those of y'all that are going through this or maybe thinking like this or have this mindset or something like that. And I'm just going to dive right into this, okay? So who is dictating your actions? I think this is a very important question that we all need to stop and check ourselves with and ask every once in a while. Who is dictating our actions? And here's the reason why. A lot of times, and I get this from talking to a lot of people, okay? And understanding what prohibits their ability to step out and do the things they want to do. It 9 times out of 10 boils down to they're terrified of failing. Would y'all agree? Would you agree? Have you stopped yourself from doing something because you were absolutely mortified that if you went for it, you would fail? Or worse, what would people think of you if you failed, right? I know I've experienced that before. I have a 2-year-old. Who do you think is dictating my actions? The 2-year-old. It usually boils down to somebody is terrified of failing, or worse, they're terrified of what someone may think should they fail, right? And here's the thing with that, okay? And I just heard this and I was like, God, a total light bulb went off, okay? You can't let something you feel led and called to do, you can't let someone's subjective viewpoint, and I say subjective, and that is the key word here, subjective viewpoint of what your failure is, dictate what you choose to do or not do. Because too many times we're too worried about looking crazy or looking stupid or looking like a failure or all of these other things, these opinions, these subjective viewpoints of other people stop us from doing what we're called or led to do. Because if it's something that you are being led or called to do, is to be obedient to that. And if you find you're not being obedient to that, then you're going to miss out on your blessings. You're going to miss out on your calling because staying too worried and wrapped up in what other people think literally will stop you from your own calling. If you have a very unique gift, talent, and it could be anything, and you are holding that in, you're missing out. You're missing out on so many opportunities, so many things, even if you stepped out and did this one thing, right? And you failed at this one thing, but this one thing led you to the next thing. And then this becomes that stepping stone for you, but you didn't even get started and take that first step. You're going to miss out on everything else. It's a domino effect. You're going to miss out on everything else that one opportunity could have created for you. 6 years ago, I started in network marketing, and that opportunity led to so many other things. Even though I'm no longer there, even though for some that may have been a failure, it wouldn't have led me to everything else past that. And y'all, let me tell you, everything else past that has been amazing. It has been wonderful. So I'm not mad that that opportunity went the way it was. I'm thankful it introduced me to this, which then led me to the next thing, which then led me to the next thing, which then led me to creating and finding my passion for something that I can help so many people with. And this is what I really want to encourage and help you understand, and why it hits so home for me, because so often we sit back and we're so terrified to take that first step and not realizing that failure is subjective. It's subjective. What one person may think is a failure, another person thinks, oh my God, this is what it led me to. Like even, and it relates to anything, y'all, like absolutely anything, even taking a job. If that job didn't end up working out, but you met somebody who went and started their own company and then you started working for them, that job was not a failure. It was a stepping stone for you, but you will never know it if you don't take that first step to go see where it's going to land you. And when it comes to other people's opinions about the choices you make for your life, I got a few choice words and a couple fingers. You know what I'm saying? It does not matter. You cannot let the opinions of other people dictate what you are called and led to do. I had a time where my identity was tied to someone else, right? I was too afraid to go out on my own because I had attached my identity to this person and felt like if I step out on my own, I'll never be successful. I'll never be this. I'll never be that. And it constantly created this. I was riding the coattails of someone else. Y'all heard that saying before, right? I was riding the coattails of someone else. And as long as you're riding somebody else's coattails, you will never come into your full potential. Ever. You can't. You're too busy staying stuck behind that one person riding their coattails that you've never come into your own full potential. And until you come into your own full potential, you will never be able to prove to yourself what you are capable of, what you are made of, right? And it all starts with that first step. So we have to stop aligning our identity to someone else. The only thing that we should be tied to is God, period. That's the only one that should dictate and control what it is that we're doing. If you're going to be tied to and attached to anything or anybody, that should be the one thing that you're tied to and attached to, because that's going to be the only thing that leads you into your purpose, your destiny, your calling. Okay. I have lived that life. And let me tell you something. I didn't realize how miserable it was until I got out of it. And I guess that's why I can be so convicted in what I'm saying, because I've experienced it. And it was not the other person's fault. It wasn't their fault. That person didn't do anything wrong. It was my fault because I allowed myself to have my identity so rooted in that person that I couldn't see anything past that. What I really, really, really want to encourage is for each and every person, no matter what type of flack you think you're going to get, no matter what type of opinions you think you're going to get, no matter what anybody else is going to think, you have got to stop and really, really evaluate who is dictating what it is you do with your life, because it should not be tied to another human being. It just shouldn't. There comes a time where you have to do what you're called to do so you can then teach your children how to do the same thing. And you can teach your kids not to let their identity become attached and tied to another human being. And that's what I want to encourage everybody to do. Like I talk to a lot of people who have so many great ideas for businesses and opportunities and everything else. And they are so scared. They're so scared to fail that they won't do it. And to be honest with you, the worst thing about failure is it sets you back a little bit. I mean, you're not going to die. It's not going to kill you. It may financially strain you a little bit. You have to reevaluate a couple things, whatever, but you won't die. And at the very most, you learn something from it. You either learn what to do or what not to do. You learn what works, or you learn, hey, that didn't work. Let me go back at it, reevaluate some things and try again. But you can't let the fear of failure stop you from trying at all. Because I can tell you, I would rather fail 1,001 times than to never try at all, period. Okay. That may not be the case for everybody, and that is okay, but just try. There's so much more to life than the everyday thing. And the next time somebody asks you, well, what if you fail? Stop and ask them, well, let me ask you, are you happy with your life right now? Are you happy with your career path? Are you happy with how it all turned out? Because until we talk to me about what if I fail for trying something that I want to try, ask yourself, are you happy in what it is that you're doing? Are you happy with your career path? Because in some people's minds, that would be a failure. To not be doing something that you are happy and passionate about. Like, to me, that would be a failure. To be living a life where you're not happy with what you're doing and just excited and just so on fire, like I have said before, that people think of you when they see the flame emoji. Like, to me, that would be a failure. But again, that's subjective, right? Because there are some people that just go out and do what they got to do. They do the traditional thing. They go to school, they get a job, they work there for 40 years so they can retire at 40% of their income and hope life works out. Okay. And for some people, that's okay. Some people just want to be a stay-at-home mom. That's okay. For some other people, that would be a complete failure. Like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine that would be the only thing. Like, I used to think like that. Like, that's all you would do is be a mom. Like, no, I used to think like that before I had kids, obviously. So it's subjective. So to let somebody's subjective opinion dictate what you do with your life when you think about it like that is absolutely asinine. That's all I'm trying to say to you guys. And I just feel like so many people should just jump. They should just jump, because there are some great ideas out there. Some really, really, really great ideas out there. And I was talking to a mom not too long ago about a business idea that she had. for helping with, kid stuff and so on and so forth. And I was like, oh my God, you should totally go for that. And she's like, well, no. And I'm like, well, yes, I'm that person, y'all. If you have an idea and you're trying to go for something, I'm the person you want to talk to, because I'm going to be like, go for it. This is what you should do. Da, 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 da. And I will spout out 1,001 things that will help launch your business. Okay. Like seriously, absolutely 100%, because it fires me up to see people going for ideas that are so unorthodox, but can also change their life and truly change their life. And that is what we're all trying to get to. We're all trying to get to that life-changing moment, right? Whether it's to have a house full of kids or start a business or create the next iPhone or come up with the next, social media platform, which by the way, if y'all are not on TikTok, I'm going to need y'all to get with TikTok. Okay. Like TikTok used to be Musical.ly. Now it's TikTok, and it's got the potential to really, really grow. And I got this from Gary Vee. So if you don't want to listen to me, it's okay. I got it from Gary Vaynerchuk. But you should be paying attention to TikTok. But anyway, if it's create a new social media platform, if it's create a new YouTube thing or whatever it is, just jump. Because your ideas are probably great. You just need one person to co-sign it because you're worried about the opinions of other people. Well, I am here to tell you the only person that needs to co-sign your idea is you, my friend. Go figure out how to make it happen. Go make it happen and watch your life change to where you're just so excited, living in your truth, and just elevate it to a point that the only question you'll have for yourself is why you didn't start sooner. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. Like, if you are scared, if you are afraid, if you are nervous, if you are any of those things about doing something, and don't let being an introvert or being a shy person or being all of these things that society has labeled us, don't let any of those things stop you, because there is still room for all of us to make our goals and dreams happen. All it takes is you taking that very first step. That's it. Take the first step. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't let other people's subjective opinion dictate what you do in your life. Okay? Get up and go make it happen, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
And hey, World on Fire fam, I hope you're ready to smash those excuses, ignore the naysayers, and get started on something you've always dreamed of. Our review of the week is from Putty Watson. I love listening to your podcast. They are so inspiring and down to earth and true. Girl, you make me want to get up and get it. Thank you. Thank you so much for the review, Putty Watson. I am so fired up that you are enjoying World on Fire Radio. If you'd like a special shout out on our podcast, leave your reviews and yours may get picked next. See you on the flip side.